Yo, what's going on YouTube? So, I'm going to be 31 soon, and I've been an avid video game player, just a gamer, I guess, pretty much my entire life since my dad introduced me to a Super Nintendo when I was 5 years old. And really, it's been a bit of a roller coaster in terms of like how much I've played, what I've played over the years. But something that I've kind of wrestled with here and there, really for the past, let's say, 12 years since I was about 18, 19, is the idea of whether I'm the one who's actually playing a game or if video games are playing me. And what I mean by that is, if you're on your self improvement journey, whether that's with fitness, career, just being a better person in general, ethically, what have you, or maybe all of the above, like I'm trying to do, you can't help but kind of notice that, video games are great and all, and they're a legitimate form of entertainment. I always die on that hill. Personally, I would much rather enjoy the interactive side of things that video games offer as opposed to just kind of, mindlessly sitting on a couch for hours watching like kind of trash TV or whatnot. There's always room for a good series or a good movie, don't get me wrong, but I always loved that immersive world of video games. And, I guess you got to ask yourself, as I have, why do you actually love that immersive world so much? And again, nothing inherently wrong with it by any means. But again, you're on this self improvement journey. One of the things that you find is super essential when you're on this journey is that you need to have actual concrete goals, not ethereal sort of nebulous goals like so many people have. And I like I kind of do. I'm trying to refine them with time because I think the clearer the goal is, the clearer the path to get there becomes. And with video games, what they offer, if you're on PlayStation, is trophies, right? If you're on Xbox, you get achievements. Same with Steam as well, right? And they come with points, little trophies. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, like I just earned something. I did something, right? But really, it was Geralt of Rivia who achieved something. You were holding the controller, sure, but is that going to put more money in your pocket? Is that going to actually boost your resume? Is that going to get you out of that job that you hate? You know? So it's just sort of an interesting dilemma because they are a legitimate form of entertainment. There's nothing inherently wrong with actually engaging with a little bit of entertainment just to unwind, after a tough day of work or what have you. But I think that what so many of us have spent many, many months and years, and in some cases, literally nonstop months and years when you actually look at time played, whether it's World of Warcraft, whether it's COD, whether it's, well, pick a game, any RPG, right? Could be RuneScape for all I care. You've essentially just withdrawn, taken out any real goals from your life and your future, and in its place, you've just injected the laid out path of whatever the video game offers. And oh my god, I'm gonna get platinum for this game. This game is so awesome, Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm gonna spend literally 150 hours over the next 6 months after work at my job that I hate, but let's forget about that. I'm gonna escape and I'm gonna hunt for hummingbirds in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's going to take 14 hours, but I'm going to get this one trophy I've been hunting for forever. And then, hey, maybe you do get that trophy. Awesome. You get a little dopamine hit. That's great. That's good for you. And then what? Again, you still got to clock into that job the next day. There's no more money in your account. There's less because of the opportunity cost, if anything. Right? So what needs to happen is a sort of shift between allowing video games of any type, whether it's competitive multiplayer or it's just a really good RPG like any The Witcher or Red Dead Redemption 2. GTA is coming soon, right? Name a game, name an RPG or something that's really exciting and immersive. Shifting from that being sort of your go-to groove that you just sort of the needle falls into and you just end up taking that path whenever you're uncomfortable, you've had a bit of a tough day, or any sort of negative emotion. You just sort of steer into that escape path. You got to iron out your goals, figure out what you want, even if it's just like a microcosm goal, like, oh, I want to get lean. I actively work out and whatnot, but I'm 22% body fat. I want to get down to 10, 15%. I want to look better. I want to feel better about how I, present in the mirror and when I'm wearing some of my favorite clothes, right? Even if it's just something as concrete as that, that will help steer you away from just constant falling back into the same pattern with video games, which makes them a negative habit. If you can figure out a way to shift away from that sort of instant answer where you get that instant gratification and then you get the false dopamine of getting an achievement or a trophy in a video game, as you get closer and closer to that goal, you'll get dopamine from a legitimate source, which is you actually achieving something in real life. And then listen, when on a daily basis, weekly basis, what have you, but let's just look at the daily. If you get up on, say, a Sunday morning, first thing you do, healthy snack, go crush a workout. And then regardless of what your overarching life goals are, you go crush a workout. Nice, you've gotten your steps in. Get home, have a healthy meal, maybe tidy up, take care of like the little chores and whatnot. And then let's say you have like a pet project you're working on, or you're working on a side hustle that you want to become the main hustle, like YouTube, personal training, I don't know, pressure washing, whatever it is. You kind of get that work done, like a genuinely legitimate, satisfying amount of work done on that side project, the chores, laundry, all the stuff that really needs to be done first. And then you do that conscious mental work of ensuring, like, hey, like, am I actually any step, like even a baby step closer to my goal? And you'll know when you've done a legitimate amount of work for that day, whatever that work looks like. And then, hey, like, girlfriend's at work, or maybe you're single, like, I got some time to unwind, you know, play a game for a couple hours, do your thing, whatever. It's cool. But the problem is when Sunday morning comes and, well, especially if you just don't do anything, you get up, you beat your meat, you don't do shit. You eat some unhealthy bullshit breakfast, maybe pop in a couple Eggo waffles covered in maple syrup or Aunt Jemima's, which doesn't exist anymore, but you take my point, and maybe beat your meat again and then hop into Valorant for 6 straight hours, and you've cut a hole in your chair that you just shit through because you don't have to get up that way. And then you maybe push out a kidney stone and do it all again Monday morning because you called in sick to work that you hate, right? Instead of actually putting in a little bit of time to get yourself out of there. And again, just without kind of beating a dead horse too much here, if you don't know what your goals are, even a vague idea of what your goals are in life, again, could be fitness related, could be career related, could be spiritual. Hey, I'm just going to start going to church on Sundays. Whatever it is, if you're not moving closer to your goal because you don't even know what it is, you're moving either toward a better place or a worse place at any given time. Life is about change. Life is about adaptation and change, every moment to moment and every day to day and so on and so forth. So figure out what your goals are, maybe do some journaling, and see your life improve day to day. All right, that's all I got for today. Just some thoughts, little stream of consciousness. I want to do this a little bit more. If I can help even one person kind of improve just a little baby step, then it's worth doing. So sharing a little Ryan wisdom today. Take it easy.